you for taking the time also to come out to pay tribute to America's finest, our brave men and women in uniform. And I'll take just a few minutes to let you know what's on my heart regarding this issue of the importance of honoring our vets and teaching the younger generation. I'm so happy to see young kids here today. Thank you, parents and grandparents, for bringing your children. This next younger generation needs to be able to embrace what it is that means to be an American and why it is that we owe our veterans, again, that freedom. So thank you, parents, for bringing your kids. Abraham Lincoln once spoke of the mystic cords of memory stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land. For over 200 years, those mystic cords have bound us in gratitude to those who are willing to sacrifice, to restrain evil, to protect God-given liberty, to sacrifice all in the defense of our great country. They fought for this freedom at Bunker Hill. They fought for its survival at Gettysburg and for the ideals on which it stands, liberty and justice for all, on 1,000 battlefields far from home. In cities and towns across our great country, you'll find monuments to brave Americans wearing the uniforms of wars from long ago. And in distant lands across the globe, you'll find those silent fields of white markers with the names of Americans who never came home, but who showed their dedication to the country by where it was they died. We gather here today to witness a moving monument to heroes from this very town. This wall had traveled to my small town in Alaska years ago, and it's amazing to me to see that the days go by, the months go by, the years go by, but our tribute to those whose names are on that wall, we will never forget. This wall allows us to never forget. From those days in Wasilla to here in Buckeye, may this always be a reminder as it travels around the rest of the United States how important our military is. We honor 6 men from Buckeye, Arizona today who serve something greater than self. They made the ultimate sacrifice far from home. Donald Robert Elmore, James Dell Laser, Geronimo Lerma, Alan Theodore Macon II, Darrell Monroe Pickett, and Herman Scherna. They were young men with their whole lives ahead of them when they died in Vietnam. This is why it's tough for me to get through these. Forgive me for this. Todd texted me right before the speech. He says, "I'm praying for your speech. So glad you're there to honor the troops." And I texted back, "Yeah, pray for me, okay, Todd, because you know how I get when I'm with our vets." It's tough to adequately and appropriately express the appreciation because we have to remember those 6 names that I just read, the names on this wall, they're not just names on a wall. They were someone's son, brother, husband, friend. The 6 young men whose name I just mentioned, they were graduates of Buckeye Union High School. They had played on the Buckeye Hawks sports teams. They had the same dreams that all young men have. Had they lived, they would be older men now with their own families around them and a full lifetime of memories. Today we honor the sacrifices of these young men who never came home. And we also honor the men who served with them who did come home, forever changed by the battlefield. There is a special place in our hearts for our Vietnam vets because they were never given the welcome home that they deserved. And for that, gentlemen, patriots, I am sorry that you were not given that welcome home that you deserved. Too often, perhaps a grateful nation doesn't show its grateful heart. But we here today, you who have taken your time to come out and celebrate this and honor our vets, we will show it today, and we will raise our children and our grandchildren to show it. And we must do this because our country depends on it. We must do this. See, if you look for the virtues that have sustained our great nation, you'll find them in those who wear the uniform, who take the oath, and who pay the price for our freedom. They are the special ones. They are unique. They have been selfless. They have been brave. Their sacrifices are what make this country possible. And friends, we must never forget that our freedom was purchased by millions of men, now long forgotten throughout our history, who fixed bayonets and charged the cannons. They knew they might have to make the ultimate sacrifice, but they believed it was worth it to sacrifice all for a future generation's freedom. That's why wherever I go in most of my speeches, I recite the words on the bumper sticker that my son has, and I'm very proud of my son. He's recently returned from Afghanistan, and he served in Iraq, and my son's bumper sticker, it says, "If you love freedom, you take a bet."